Hello, hello, hello. How are we all today? Have we got anybody joining us at the moment? There's nobody here. Come and join me, my beautiful people. Come and say hello to me. I'll give it a few minutes. It takes a little while to get it going, but we'll see how we go. Come join me, my friends. Come to me. Come join me. Come say hello to me. Anybody coming live? Anybody there? Do you want to come and say hello? Please say hello. Anybody joining me? I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'll start. Okay, we got somebody. Hello, Scarlett. Hope you're well. Hope you're bearing up, Scarlett, under the pressures of the lockdown. Who else have we got there? We've got one or two joining in now. We've got, hello, Priscilla. Hello, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, Scarlett, you're there. Sarah Man, hello. Hope you're well. And who else have we got coming? I'm sure I just saw, yeah, Helen. Hello, Helen. I saw your little face come up, so well done. Thank you for joining us. So when you just join in, can you just please say hello so that I know that you're there? Yeah, we know you're there, Scarlett. Marvellous. So anyway, today today's just about a little chat with each other, okay? And it's going to give you an opportunity to ask any questions. I'm very well, thank you, Helen. But it's also going to give an opportunity to ask any questions if you want to, about anything, any situation that you want to at all, okay? So feel free to put your questions. Hi, Liz. Hope you're well. So please feel free to put your questions on here as well, and then we can see where we're going with it all. The reason I'm doing these at the moment is simply because, we're all stuck at home. We haven't got people to talk to. Some of us feel very isolated, and it's just nice to be able to just have that little moment where we can just talk with people and take a little bit of time up in the afternoon. So please feel free. Stick your questions on there and we'll go from there. And I know at the moment, we're all feeling the pressures at the moment. We're all feeling the pressures at the moment because, we're all sitting in isolation. One thing we can't do is we can't go out, we can't see friends, we can't go and see family. So we're finding it all very much, I would say, for me, there's no negativity to it, but it's not certainly giving us a full response of positivity in certain ways for certain people. Okay, now, we all understand that. Now, it's nice to spend time at home. It's nice to be at home. It's nice to spend time with the family. Hi, Vicky. It's nice to spend time with the family. It's nice to spend time at home. Okay. This is something that we've never all experienced before. So it's all new to us. So we're all learning. We're all going through it in the same way. Okay. Now, what I have noticed as well is that there's been, a lot of people can see certain situations in a sort of like very negative way. Now, some people live in London, okay, and various other parts of the country, and they live in flats, okay? They don't have a garden, they don't have access to any garden at all, okay? So they're actually being confined to their own home. Some of us are lucky we've got a garden, we can go and sit outside in the sun, okay? Now, of course, especially in London as well, that I've noticed is that, they're beginning to try and police the parks a little bit better. They're trying to stop people from doing things in the parks. But what you've got to understand as well is that some people need to get out and have a walk and have a bit of fresh air. They really, really do. Sunbathing, no. Don't be doing none of that. But if you need to go and have a little walk, then we need to go off and have a little walk as well. Hello, Marilyn. We need to go and have a little walk as well because that's important for our mental being and for us to still see this in a positive way. If we're being confined completely to indoors and we're still trying to search inside of us to see a positivity to it, then that can be very much demanding mentally upon us as well. And it's very, very much in spiritual way as well. So, if you need to go out and have a walk, you need to go and have a wander. It's lovely. The weather's nice. I'm not promoting people to go out there and do what you want. What I'm saying is that if you could go off and have a walk around the block on your own, and don't go visiting people and people like that, then please just go and do that, because again, we've got quite a long way to go yet. They don't believe that we've hit a peak of this. We're looking at probably a few more weeks of isolation, and of course, we've done 3 weeks already. A lot of us are pulling our hair out. A lot of us are finding a lot of pressure in this as well, certainly having a big pressure among families and relationships and things like that. So if you can go out and have a little walk somewhere, just around the block, just take it out for that little bit of time. Just take it out for that little bit of time, so that you can just have that clear, move that mind around a little bit, and see things more in a more stronger mental state as well. So so this weekend's coming up. It's winter, it's Easter, it's Easter, and of course, normally this time of the year, we'll be going around and seeing friends and family and delivering eggs and things. Well, that's not going to be capable, okay? So we must remember that we have to isolate ourselves from the rest of the nation, because that's what's the importance to it as well, okay? And of course, also in amongst that is we've got to have that well-being for other people. We've got to have that thought for other people. Now, I think during the whole of this situation as well, there's a certain minority of people that really find it more interesting to maybe criticize people's movements, criticize people doing things. There was a thing today that I saw, and they were saying about, joggers in the parks in London. Why can't they have a certain area? Because they bang into people, and they shouldn't be jogging at the same time as people walking around. Listen, all I can say, people, and I'm a very honest person, as you know, I speak the truth and I speak my mind. Listen, all I can say to people is, please, listen, there's a lot more at stake here. Hi, Barbara. There's a lot more about people that's being suffering here. People are losing their lives. People... Well, way over 6,000 now. People are losing their lives. They haven't got loved ones with them when they pass. They can't have funerals in the way that they've always pretty well much prepared for in life as well, from their passing from this world to the next world, as having that celebration of life. They've been denied that right. So I think, joggers in the park, leave them alone. People walking in the park, leave them alone. Let's not criticize. Let's not take this and put a negativity to it. Let's keep it nice and positive. Okay. Hi, Regina. Let's keep it nice and positive. Let's promote people's well-being. Let's, keep it in our mind that people are dying every minute of every day. So I think at the end of the day, if we're going to nitpick about people doing things wrong and whatever as a nation, then we're actually moving away from the whole purpose of what we're trying to do here. And that is to save lives. We're all spirit. Okay, now if we listen to the news, that starts to feed our mind with other people's opinions. Then we start to jump onto it, and of course, then that starts to manifest into something a lot more stronger. Then we have all this other stuff going on. So let's not go into that one. Let's just be very positive. Let's go for exercises in the park and have a walk to keep our mind going. No sunbathing, no visiting friends. No going off shopping, none of that going on, okay? It's very difficult, I know, but we all have to do it. But let's just keep in mind here the reason of why we're doing it is to save people's lives, okay? It's to help people and save people's lives. There's nothing worse than people actually dying in the hospital, and the last person they ever see is... bless them, is a beautiful nurse or doctor standing in front of them that was trying to save their life. And that's the last person they ever see. Okay, so it's very difficult for them. So let's get away from the negativity. Let's not nitpick at why people are doing whatever in how they're doing it. And let's just try and stand together as a nation. Please, let's just try and look at it in a real positive way, because that's the way we'll move forward from this as well. Okay, now if you've got any questions, please promote them to me, and I'll see if I can answer some for you. Okay, now there's a lady here that's gave me some questions. She doesn't come on live because she can't do that. Her name is Teresa and she's from Wales, and she's gave me some questions here which she wants me to answer. Okay, and one of them is I've just got sort of 4 or 5 questions here, so I'm just going to have a little look and see where she's going here. And she's actually put on here, and this one's to me, and she says, are you able to see your own future and read yourself? Okay, well, Teresa, that's a very interesting question, that is, because for the simple reason is we all have our own ability of reading our own future. We all have our own ability of being able to know our destiny. What you got to remember is if a medium can read it for somebody else, they can certainly read it for themselves, because there's no barrier within, okay? There's no barrier towards anybody else. So actually we do know we've got to go inside. We've got to talk to our soul, okay? The soul knows where it's going. Our destiny is what you got to remember is there's a vast variation of how our destiny can be, okay? And Scarlett's been oh, sorry, I'm just reading something there. So what we got to remember is that, we've got this vast variation of opportunities, okay? Now, these opportunities are presented to us. Now, they're presented to us from our own wantings and our own needs and our own desires, okay? So when we're looking at for our future and what we're looking at for our future, then we just got to go inside. It's all there. The whole answer is there. Have a feel, okay? When something feels right, go with it, because that is your own intuition actually telling you. Okay, and reading yourself, it's no good reading about the past, and it's no good reasoning about the present time into certain respects, because that's already happened. But we can read our own future. Of course we can. We can see, we can feel, we know, we have an idea, we have an aspiration of where we feel that we want to be. Some people say, I want to be a millionaire and live in a big mansion, and actually they achieve it. Because once you have that intention, once you have that feeling, once you have that knowing, then that is your own destiny. It's beginning to give you them opportunities. And of course, the opportunities are presented to us, and it's down to us whether we follow them or not. Okay. Now, some people say about, the spirit world, they know all our life and it's all pathed out. Well, actually, I don't believe that anybody knows our own life. I believe that we have our own destiny, which will be actually manufactured within our own soul. Okay, so of course, hi Carol, hi Joe, hi Nicole, and of course what happens is that as them opportunities are presented to us, we feel a stronger intuition towards which way we want to go with them. That's where our destiny starts to sit. It starts to become from there. So yes, we can read our own self. We can see where we want to go. There's no barriers in life. People say, well, I can't get there. I can't do this. You can actually achieve anything you want to. You really, really can. Now, I'm not saying that, if you want to look from more of a physical aspect of like want to buying a big house or something, some people may say, well, I'm not going to get that. Well, listen, set your sights within the intention, okay? And you can achieve everything you wanted to. Now, if you look at some people, what they've achieved, they set out with the same aim, the same goal. If you look at some, even if you look at the boxers and people like that, they all set out with an intention to become a world champion. Racing drivers, golfers, anybody, they all set out with an intention. And of course, they all got there. So you can have everything you want in life, as long as you set the intention in the mind. If it's in the mind, it's in the spirit, it's in the soul, then we can move forward, and that's where our destination is. If we want to do nothing with our life, then we'll do nothing with our life, and that will be our own destiny. And of course, hi Caroline. And of course, that's where we have to remember. Okay, so yes, you have your own intentions, you have your own aspirations, you have your own destiny. Just look inside and see where you want to go with it, because yes, the answers are there. So that was that question. And she's also put on here for me again, is there anything spiritual that I don't personally believe in? Well, I think if we look at spirituality as a whole, again, it's a label. Okay, I've never been good with labels. I don't like labels placed upon things, because then what that does is it gives boundaries. Okay, and I believe that spirituality, which I'm going to use it as a word, is a vast variation of the power of who we are as a spirit. Okay, now spirituality again has been governed over the years to say, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to be this, you've got to be that to be spiritual. Well, I don't believe in that at all, because spirituality is something that we all are anyway. We're all spiritual. Of course we are. We are, because we're spirit. And of course, what you've got to remember is at what degree do we unlock the key to that? What degree do we want to take that further into our own into our own depths of spirituality, if you like. You know, some people would just want to keep it at the same level. They may not want to invest any further into the depths of becoming more spiritual in that aspect. Okay, so we've all got to have all these I'm trying to explain it to you. Okay, so we've all got spirituality because we are spiritual. We've all got the same type of spiritual desires, so to speak. We've all got the same spiritual qualities. It just depends on how we unlock them, the further we want to take them, the more we want to invest in them. Hi, Jane. The more we want to invest in them, the more we want to take them to a different level. Now, if we look at some people say, oh, they're very spiritual. I wish I could be like them. Well, no, they're the same as you, but they just have unlocked the key to the door. They found the love inside a little bit more and allowed it to come forward in that greater strength. And of course, you know, love is spirituality. That's what you've got to remember. Love is spirituality. If we have love in our hearts, which we've all got, then we have spirituality. So there's nothing that I don't believe in, because I believe that everything's possible if you have the heart and the love to start with. So there's nothing that I don't believe in as in spirituality. Now, spirituality is not holding the door open for somebody. Spirituality is not lending someone a fiver. Spirituality goes a little bit more deeper. You know, what they say about, you know, how mediums are, spirituality, what is it? You know, I've heard some people make statements over the years of different quotes, or how to speak. The main thing you've got to remember is that putting other people's needs in front of our own, putting other people's wants and desires in front of our own, will build that strength inside of us. It will take away from the selfishness that some people create. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving him this. I'm not giving him that. It will take away from that. Once we find that we put somebody else's needs and desires in front of our own, we have really accomplished something very special inside of us. That can only grow into greater and deeper levels and deeper values of experience as well. So spirituality is something we all have. Just go with it. Just allow yourself to put that thought before anything else. If somebody needs some help, let's go and help them. Okay, of course, hold the door open and lend someone a fiver. Absolutely sure, because it's a positivity. But actually, spirituality is that deeper sense. That really is that deeper sense. So let's try and promote that into a way of putting the other people's needs first, never being selfish in our own needs, allowing for ourselves to see the love and the beauty and the calmness and the positivity in everything that we see. Will create our own spirit to become more of a purer spirituality. And of course, once we achieve that, then everything else becomes more natural to us, because it's a natural ability that we've got. We're all spirit. There's nothing here manufactured. It's all spirit. It's just unlocking it. So that's that part. So no, the answer to your question is that there's nothing that I don't personally believe in at all. I believe in all of it. I believe in every aspect of it. I really, really do. And also she's put on here, what is the best way of communicating with loved ones who have passed in my daily life? And do you have to be a medium to do this? Well, what you've got to remember is that we're all capable of connecting to all our own loved ones. All our own loved ones, we can connect to them all the time, okay? We can send the thought, we can send our heart to them, we can connect to them just by the power of thought, by the power of thought, because that's what we do. That's what, as mediums, that's what we do. We connect with that power of love, and through the power of thought, we have all got the level ability of connecting with the spirit world. It just depends on how we develop it into the way that we do. So yes, you can talk to your loved ones, speak to them every day, speak to them as many times as you want. They hear everything that they believe. Sorry, I'm reading something as well. I'm trying to get it right as well. But they listen to every single word that you say. Okay. Now, what you got to remember is that, because I've heard this question before, the spirit world, do they, are they around us when we don't want them to be, in areas of, where they're not supposed to be? No. Spirit world will only come to you, okay, when you ask them to. Okay, they'll only connect to the higher self of love when you ask them to. They won't sniff around you every day. They got a lot more better things to do in the spirit world. But when there's a need, when there's a desire, when they wish to, or when they need to, they will be there and they will be beside you. So yes, send all of your thoughts to the spirit. They will listen to your loved ones every single day. Honestly. Now, the spirit world, because, if you're not working in mediumship, then, to perceive the spirit world may be a lot more difficult because you haven't maybe developed yourself into that part where where you can achieve that. So, of course, the spirit world choose mediums. They will go to a medium. They will choose. All this is orchestrated quite nicely within the spirit world. But they will choose to work through a medium so that they can deliver their evidence of communication to their loved ones. And, of course, what you got to remember is that we don't provide you evidence. We provide you with information. And it's down to you to be able to say to yourself, yes, that's my grandma. Yes, that's my auntie. Yes, that's my uncle, or whoever it is, through the validation of evidence, information that we give you. Yes, evidence, information, one of the two. But that's how that works, okay? So it's not for us to say, listen, I've got your grandma here. It's a case for us to turn and say, listen, I'm being joined by a beautiful spirit from the spirit world, and for me to give information about this person, and for you to then say, yes, that is my granny or granddad or whoever it is. So of course, that's our job in so many respects. That's for us to do that in that way. Okay, so that was that one question. Here, anybody else got any questions? Marlena. Hello, Marlena. What else have we got? Have we got any questions that anybody wants to ask? And what else have we got here? And oh yes, so she's asked me here as well, how can you get more in tune with your own intuition? Well, intuition is us. That's what you got to remember. First of all, is us. We are our own intuition, okay? We have our own senses, we have our own gut feelings, we have all our senses that will then be able to, relay information to us into such a way that we have our own intuition in that way. When people say things, go with your gut feeling, okay? Or some people say, listen, I don't want to go down there today because I don't feel right about it. That's an intuition. If somebody comes and steps into our life and we go, we don't like them, that's an intuition, okay? Yes, please give me your question, Marlena. That's an intuition. And of course, the way that we can become more in tune with it is to actually believe in it. Okay? If we believe in what we're feeling, it will grow that intuition even more stronger. Okay? So it's no good having a feeling and then not acting upon it and then saying, oh, I wish I'd done that. It's going with it in the beginning. And of course, the more that we use that intuition, the more that we use this intuition, it's like a muscle. The more it will grow, the more it will expand, the more it will become stronger. And of course, our intuition then becomes something that's very, very strong towards us. And that's how you grow your intuition. Believing in it, believing in you, believing in what you're feeling, just going with it. Okay? Because your intuition is your knowing. It's your inner voice. It's your knowing. Okay? And of course, if we can't listen to us, then how can we listen to others? Okay? So it's just going with what you feel inside. All right? So just build your intuition, have the truth, have the faith and the trust in what you're feeling is right, because it will be. Because that's where it's coming from. It's coming from that inner voice, that inner silence, coming from the soul speaking. It's giving you that intuition. It's giving you that direction. So please just work with it. Go with it. Okay? What else does she have? Oh, did Marlena, I'm in a relationship and I can't seem to click on. Okay, Marlena, let's see where we're going with you on that one. Okay, now, in a relationship and you can't seem to click on, firstly, when we're in relationships, what we have to understand is there a compatibility between each other? Okay, there has to be, in a relationship, there has to be these certain ingredients that actually tick our boxes. Of course, there has to be a physical attraction, there has to be a personality attraction, Yes, Barbara, you can do that in a second. There has to be a physical. There has to be sorry, I've lost my flow there by answering. I shouldn't do that. Yes, there has to be all these different attractions. There has to be a quality. Okay, there has to be something that the person's got in order for us to be able to invest our time into this person. Okay. Now, of course, when we work into relationships, firstly, the nice thing is that do you get along with a person? Do they make you feel happy? Do they excite you? Do you want to call them? Do you want to see them? All of them little boxes need to be ticked. They really, really do. If you're in a relationship and you're struggling to make communication, or you're struggling to bond with that person, or you're struggling to be able to have some kind of relationship with them, then I think then you need to be able to look at that relationship and see whether it's actually for you. There has to be that compatibility. There has to be that attraction in the beginning, because otherwise it just won't work. What you've got to remember is that we're all spiritual people. We're all very spirit. That's what we are. And of course, there has to be, we have this freedom inside of us that we can go anywhere we want to. We can do anything we want to. So why contain yourself into a relationship that actually is making you unhappy, or it's actually not ticking all your boxes? If you're trying to make a relationship fit or work, then you have to re-look at the reasons of why you're doing it. Now, I'm not saying that relationships don't need work, because they really, really do. But there has to be something that's going to be ticking the boxes in the beginning. There has to be a fire in the belly, because otherwise, you will then become where you're finding that in the relationship that compatibility is having more of a problem, Marlena. It's having more of a problem where you're trying to be able to how can I put it? You're trying to be able to have a steady road, and it's actually a bumpy road. So I think you need to look at your relationship. I think you need to look at it, and I think you need to be able to see if that person is ticking all your boxes, making you feel happy, making you smile. And if they're doing all of that, then just look at the reason why you're not connecting so well. Look at the reason why you're not clicking. Okay, is it because maybe he wants to do something or his own thing, or you want to do your own thing? Of course, relationships, there has to be that give and take. There really, really does. There has to be for it to work. You can't lead separate lives, because it won't work. The whole purpose of being with somebody is to be able to join yourself in such a relationship where that you're very compatible, you're doing everything, together. But of course you have to have separate lives as well. But there also has to be that part where you're enjoying being with your person and your partner. So you have to look at all the reasons of why that's happening, Marlena. Okay, you can always inbox me afterwards, and I can have a chat with you more personally if that's any good to you. Okay, so just look at all the reasons. Sometimes it's nice to just write a simple list. Just write down on one side the likes and write down the dislikes, and just tick them and be honest and tick them and see where they're going with it. Does he make me laugh? Does she make me happy? Does she make me smile? Does she make me feel wanted? Do I feel happy in her company? Do I feel happy in his company? And, and look at then the things that you've got in common with each other, If there's a massive separation between each other, then look at the reasons why you want to be together. Because being in love is something very special. Being in love is something where it really can change your whole life for the right reasons. And of course, when you're in love, you'll know it. And of course, also as well, when you're with the right person, you'll feel it, you'll know it. It will give you a fire in your belly. It really, really will. Okay. So, of course, then please just look at them reasons. All right. Now, a lot of people say, oh, but what am I going to do without them? Well, listen, at the end of the day, you didn't have them in the beginning. Okay, you got on all right on your life without them. So you don't need to be with somebody because you don't want to be on your own. Be with somebody for the right reasons, because at the end of the day, your worth, everybody here has a worth to their life, has a worth to their self. And of course, they want that to be respected. They want that to be, they want that to be respected, but they also want it to be appreciated by that person as well. Because once you have worth, you have standards. Once you have standards, you then be able to have something special. And of course, once we set good standards in life, then people have to meet them standards. And of course, that gives us worth. Otherwise, if we don't, we then start to lose our confidence. We start to lose our self-esteem. And then what happens is we become more magnetized to that person because we feel that they don't want for them to leave us, because we've actually feel so low in ourselves, we don't feel that we want to be on our own. So keep them standards going, keep them high. Okay, when you find the right person, you'll know it. You really, really well. So Marlene, if you want to talk to me afterwards, you can do. So what have you put here? That's what I do, and I've also done a list for him, a game, let's say. Okay, right, okay. Did I see Jacqueline? What's wrong, sweet? Tell me what's wrong. Barbara, if a family member passes and goes to spirit and you ask them never to come through, if at a church you're having a reading, then they end up coming through when you have asked them not to connect with you. Barbara, if a family member passes and goes to spirit and you ask them never to come through, if at a church you're having a reading, then they end up coming through when you have asked them not to connect with you. Okay, well, Barbara, what you've got to understand as well is, the spirit world, we're not in charge of the spirit world, and the spirit world aren't in charge of us. Actually, everybody has their own right to do what they wish to. They have freedom, okay? The spirit world have freedom to connect with us, okay? And of course, we have the right to connect with the spirit world, okay? Now, if you've asked somebody to come through, let's just say Grandad, because it's easier for me to say it. So let's just say we ask Grandad not to come through in a communication, and he comes through. Okay. Now, what you've got to remember is that is now going to be giving part of the responsibility towards you and to the medium. We can't blame the spirit. What would have to happen here is that we would have to then say to the medium, let's just say it's Grandad, and he says, I've got Grandad here, and you think, oh, I don't want Grandad to come through. You can say to the medium, please, I don't wish to accept this communication. Okay, the medium then should then respect everything that you're saying and say, absolutely fine, no problem at all. You have got a right to speak to the medium afterwards and just say, look, listen, I never want to hear from this person. Okay, so that's how we then don't accept the communication. All right, we can ask the spirit world 100 times not to come through, and they may try and come through on every opportunity because they feel a need, they feel a want, and it may be because they want to, make good of something or say sorry or something. So they'll take every opportunity they can to be able to achieve that. So, we can't blame them. What we have to do is just be able to be respectful and responsive to, if they do come through, to be able to just dismiss that communication. That way, we're not leaving the blame at anybody's feet. We're actually just dismissing the communication. And of course, that's very respectful then. And of course, we can just keep sending the thoughts to Grandad and say, look, listen, I don't want you to come through. Please don't do it. And if you do, then I will refuse every communication that you send. That's how we get away from that one, okay? So it's not to blame the spirit, because don't forget, at the end of the day, we can't tell them, just as much as if they was here and they was trying to phone us every day. The only way to do it is to block the number or in that same sense, okay? So, of course, what we have to do there is cut off every avenue of communication, as in if they come through, just say to them, sorry, I don't want to have this communication. And the medium should just turn and say to you then, yes, fine, absolutely, no problem at all. So, Barbara, that's how we get through that one. Any other little questions? Jacqueline, relationship issues, and I feel an old love from heaven is sending me signs, or I'm going crazy. Jacqueline, listen, old loves do come through from spirit, and they do send signals, and they send us signs. And no, you're not going crazy, sweet. Absolutely not. They do this because once there's a love connection being made, okay, then that's still within the heart, within the soul, okay. And of course, listen, the person that's in the spirit world, they're going to keep sending things if they feel that they wish to, okay? If you're okay with it, then that's absolutely fine. If you find that you don't want that, then, you're going to have to explain to them and say to them, look, please don't give me so many signs, or, but you're not going crazy. You're not going crazy. Me, personally, I think it's really sweet when somebody comes from the spirit world and starts to give us something. I think it's really, really nice and really kind to know that they're around us all the time. So at the end of the day, I think it's really nice. And of course, act upon the signs if you wish to, Jacqueline. Act upon the signs, okay? And ask them, if you want to, ask them to send you more. It's confirmation that they're there. It's confirmation to say that they're around you. So I think that's really cute when they do things like that. It just depends on whether whether you want if you want that to come through. Hi, Karen. How are you, my friend? Yes, Barbara. That's yeah, that's it. Okay, so you've got to that point there. Hi from Australia. I just want to know what makes you feel drawn to people via the phone, internet. What helps you feel their energy? Well, Jennifer, for me, I don't use tarot cards. I'm just drawn. Okay, now how I explain that to you, if I'm looking here now, if I'm doing a communication from spirit, I'll bring the spirit world through to me. Okay, I'll communicate with the higher self. If I'm working and I'm just being drawn intuitively, or I'm feeling a psychic need to talk to somebody, then if it was you, I would then be drawn to you. Okay, when we work with psychic energy, when we work with our own energy, and we're connecting to somebody else's, we're reading their energy. Okay, so it's just like, if we're working with the tarot cards, when we work psychically, it's just we're drawing upon the energy of the person. So as I'm looking through, I may be drawn from spirit world may connect me to you, because there may be a communication coming forward. But if I'm needing to speak to you about your life now, and I'm not being inspired by the spirit, I will just be drawn to you. Okay, Jennifer, and then as I get drawn to you, there'll be a knowing inside of me as I'm connecting to you to be able to start to speak to you about whatever. Now, as soon as I start to speak to you, then it starts to unlock that information, and the information starts to flow. So it's literally, I'm drawn intuitively. I can be drawn, how I say it is like psychically, intuitively. It's all running around the same type of vibration, really. And of course, that's what's just giving me that making me drawn to you. Okay, but if I sometimes if I get inspired by spirit, I'll feel the spirit world that wish to talk to you. That just depends on who wants to talk, or whether it's just going to be a psychic reading or a spiritual reading. Jess Johnson, I just lost my 20-year-old son, and I am new to all of this spirit stuff. How do you people connect with them? Just curious. Oh, Jess. Oh, I'm sorry, sweet. Okay, so how it works, Jess. I'm sorry that you've just lost your son. How it works is, the spirit world, obviously your son's in the spirit world. If he wishes to connect with you, Jess, then he will find the avenues to do so. He will find the medium. He will be able to then, the spirit world, very much so, orchestrate these opportunities for us to speak to our past loved ones. Okay, now sometimes when people pass to the spirit world, they don't always come through for quite a while, because for the simple reason being is that there has to be this sense of being allowed, or to allow you to grieve in such a way. Okay, communication from the spirit world is beautiful. Okay, if it's happening straight away after such a traumatic passing, or someone very close to you, as in a 21-year-old son, then what, from my own perspective on this, is that then I believe that would be, the communication will be down to whether they feel that it'd be right to give you communication at the moment, whether it would be more of an effect upon you, or whether it would be more of a positive or a negative effect upon you. Okay, I believe that comfort is the foremost of the view of the spirit. Okay, if your son wishes to communicate because he believes that it will do you the world of good, your son will then communicate with you if he feels that he needs to. If he feels there needs to be a little bit of time between his passing to him being able to communicate with you, Jess, then he will choose that moment right when he feels that it's right. He's in the spirit world. He's very much loved by everybody that's in the spirit world, family and friends. Okay. He will be around you, Jess. You will feel him. But actually, to bring that communication forward, he'll find the right time. He will do. Okay. You can say to him and speak to him and just say to him, listen, I feel that I want you to come through. I want you to come and speak to me. And then again, that will depend on whether that feels right. The spirit world will never push upon a communication with you if they feel that you're in the moment of grief, and it will have a detrimental effect upon you, that it could actually put you down lower into the signs of grief, and not making you so positive. Okay, of course, communication from spirit is it has to have that effect of positivity, love, upliftment, comfort, joy. There has to be a reason by them coming forward. If that your son feels that coming forward to you, Jess, would be not of any good to you, or it will be too upsetting, then he'll wait a little while until such times. Just keep talking to him, Jess. Honestly, keep talking to him. He's around you. He'll be listening to you, and he'll choose his right moment. If I'm right in saying, I feel that your son would be very sensitive as well. Okay, so I'm just having that feeling as I was talking to you there. I just felt that he would be very sensitive, and of course that closeness between you. He wouldn't want to inflict any pain upon you, or give you any tears, unnecessary tears. So I believe that he's quite a patient young man as well. So I believe that he will take his time to be able to just choose that right moment for communication, Jess. So just keep talking to him, and when the time's right, he will come through as well. Okay. What else have we got there? Hi Diane, Lorraine, hi Charlene. Hope my granddad comes to you. I've asked him so. Comment a lot. Okay, Rachel. Rachel. Hi Rachel. Hi Rachel, Emily, my friend. Rachel, do unborn babies live on in spirit? Yes, they do. Every what you've got to remember is that when the spirit has been, I'm going to put it in layman terms here. When the spirit has been given the opportunity to come to this world, okay, then that declaration has already been made, okay? Whether they make it to this world, whether they pass before birth, whether they passed in birth, or whether they pass after birth, then they will still grow up in the spirit world, because they're still spirit. Okay, some people have this thing in their head that they didn't take a breath. That's nonsense. That's complete nonsense. They don't have to take a breath. They're a spirit. They're a living vibration. They're a living energy. They can be in the belly. They're still living. They're a vibration. Okay, that's what you got to remember is that we're not looking at a physical body here. They don't have to have a heart. They don't have to have legs for them to be alive. They're alive because of the vibration of the soul, okay? And of course, what you've got to remember is that can never be destroyed. It's never be destroyed, never can be, never, ever, ever. It's beyond possibility of destroying an energy, okay? So, of course, they're already alive when they enter into the womb. And, of course, what you've got to remember is that if they don't make it here, then that vibration, that soul, that spirit will go back into the realms of the spirit world. And of course, they will grow up. They will grow up, because what you got to remember is that, the physical body grows here, but the spiritual sense of the soul and the spirit grows up in, how can I put it to you? It grows up in the levels of spirituality. Okay, so what you got to remember is that if I put it like this, so say that's a little soul of a baby, okay, and it goes back into the spirit world. All right, now when it's in the spirit world, because it's a vibration, it's already alive, it's already working, it's already running, so to speak. I'm not trying to put this in too many strong words that maybe some people don't understand, so I'm going to try and put it into really like sort of baby talk so that we can all understand it, because otherwise I could use quite big words and that might throw some people. So this baby has gone back into the spirit world. It's alive, it's a vibration, and of course it grows. Of course it grows, because, it's being fed with spirituality. That essence of vibration will only get stronger or deepen within the spirituality of how it works. And when it's in the spirit world, it will deepen. It will deepen within spirituality. And of course, what you got to remember is as well, from the information that we've been given, is that, there's a carbon copy of the physical aspect of that baby that's in the spirit as well. So what happens is that they will grow up in the spirit world, okay, and they will grow up with the genes of the family. Of course they will. They grow up with the biological aspect of the family as well, because it's still intermingled within the vibration of the spirit. Okay, so if it's lived in, of course, it has to come from the man into the woman, and then that moment of conception, conceivement, it all takes place. There's a biological connection to the spirit as well. So, of course, they will grow up in the spirit with the same features of the person that made them. They'll grow up with the same features. They will grow up with the same personality that they would have had when they were here as well. And, of course, what happens is that creation of how they would have been here still happens in the spirit, and of course, you know, their vibration still grows just the same as what they are here, but they don't have food there, so they're not going to grow within a physical sense. They will grow within the maturity of spirituality, but within what we call an astral body. Okay, so yeah, they all grow up, and they'll all be waiting for you whenever we all pass over to the spirit world. But yeah, absolutely, and they will continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. Can he connect with me now through you? Jess, if he wishes to, then he would choose the right time for that, Jess. It may not be right this moment now. He may, you know, send me a message afterwards if you want to. I'm going live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as well. So, you know, he could come through there. You don't know. I can't tell you that, but please, you know, just keep going. Sorry, I'm reading this as well as I'm doing. You're welcome, Jess. You really are. You're welcome, Rachel. Laurie, do you see anything about my grampy? That's Pastor Laura, Pastors Natalie Wharton. Hello, Natalie. Sam Dawkins. Hi, Sam. That makes me smile knowing they grow up and take on a personality. Yes, Rachel, they do. They take on the personality. Sure they do. They'll take on the personality. They'll take on all the traits. But they just won't have the input from the physical world. They just won't have that input from the physical world. Hi, Annabelle. Let's just see as we work along here as well. I had another question. Where are we? That was from Teresa in Wales. What's this one? What's the best way of communicating with spirit? What can you tell me about my soul purpose? Well, what can you tell me about my soul purpose? Okay, well, a soul purpose, okay? I actually don't believe there's a purpose to anything in life. I believe that there's an experience, okay? Now, we come from what we got to remember is that we come from the spirit world. We're placed into this physical world, okay? Now, a lot of people say we're here to learn lessons. We're here to do this. We're here to do that. You know, if you want, this is now coming from my own personal opinion, okay? I believe that when we come from the spirit world, we enter into the physical world, okay? Now, the reasons why we're here, okay, would be one, in my own way, would be one, to experience this beautiful world in whatever way we choose to, okay? I believe as well that when we come here, okay, I believe that we come here with some kind of direction and a purpose within the soul, so to speak. But I don't believe that when we come into this world gives us a purpose. I believe that maybe we come here with some kind of purpose in our mind, in our soul, is in whatever way, okay? But I don't believe that we're here just to keep learning lessons, because if you're going to learn a lesson, that would mean that you've got a boundary. And of course, that boundary would mean that once you've learnt that lesson, then that lesson could never represent itself again to you. That makes sense to me, you know? If you've learnt it, so then through a lifetime, then surely you must be getting to a whole point at the end of your life where there's nothing else to learn. In which case, I don't believe that. I believe that there's opportunities, I believe that there's experiences, and they always represent themselves to us in different ways, with different meanings, different opportunities. And of course, how we deal with these opportunities in the past when they've represented us to us, would be how we then be able to achieve a different view or a different understanding about that situation. If you look at your life and you say to yourself, oh, I remember when I was 15 that I had that same opportunity given to me then, but this time it seems to be different, or it seems to be worse, or because for the simple reason being is it's not that we didn't learn it. It's a case of that life will represent us to keep on seeing and experiencing these different opportunities, and just on how we deal with them would depending on how we wish to. Okay, the length and the depth of our spirituality, the presentation of how we want to deal with a situation would be depending on how we want to see it. As we get older, we get wiser, so they say. And of course, some people say to us, as we get older, they get moanier. So, if you're going to be more moanier about a situation, then surely you're going to deal with it in a different way than what you did when you was 15. So, of course, that's going to then give you a different outlook and a different perspective upon each situation. I believe that life is here to enjoy every moment of it. I don't believe life has been given to us because, some people say to us, it's hard here, but it's better up there. I don't believe that at all. I believe that life has been represented itself to us in any way, shape or form. My own perspective on life is to enjoy every moment of it. Never, ever, ever, ever feel bad about anything that you've done in the past. Always remember, okay, whatever you've done in the past can never be changed. Always welcome it with love. Never regret anything, because there's no such word as regret in the lifespan, okay? Because everything you've done, you've meant to done. Everything you do, you're meant to do. Okay, but it just represents us in different ways. So, of course, never regret any of it. Always welcome everything you've done with open arms and with love, because it's made the person to who you are today. Okay, take every opportunity that you can within reason. Okay, enjoy, smile, be happy. Okay, love as much as you possibly can. Always find ways of unlocking more deeper sense of love inside of you, because it then again will give you a better perspective of who you are as a person. Okay, never look upon life as a negative way. Not paying the bills or not being able to buy a car is not the aspect of life. Absolutely not. We've been given the opportunity of life in such a depth that, that sits within the physical world. That doesn't belong into the spiritual side of things, and it doesn't belong within the soul. Okay. So of course, what you've got to remember is that you can achieve everything you want to in life if you put your mind to it and put your soul into it. You can achieve everything. Honestly, you really, really can. When we have things like patience and things like that, then what you've got to remember is that again belongs more within a physical aspect, because actually we've all got patience inside of us. We've all got them, but it's just because they're then measured in this world. No, you've got all the patience of the saint. You really, really have. We've got patience to see ourselves through this world. We've got patience to see every situation that we're in. Okay, never look upon life as such a doldrum. Never look upon life as, oh God, I can't be bothered with it. Or look upon life as get up every day, welcome the life in. Just say, thank you very much, God, for letting me open my eyes today, because there's thousands of people that never. Embrace every situation. Embrace everybody that comes to you. And smile, and most of all, have fun. That's my perspective on that side of things. Hello, could you please see if my migraine will disappear? One of the reasons is because I would love to leave the medication and have another baby. Maria. Okay, Maria, do you want to inbox me afterwards? Send me an inbox, Maria, because I can help you with that. Okay, and so send me an inbox, Maria. What else have we got here? Do we all have a spirit guide with us or around us, as well as guardian angels and loved ones that have passed on? Yes, Emily, we've all got spirit guides, okay? Everybody that's here on earth have all got a spiritual guide. Who they are, sometimes we never know. They could be somebody that's very high up in spirituality. They could be our granddads. It just depends on who has taken upon that situation or taken upon that responsibility of guiding us through our life, okay? They don't always have to be Chinese or, Red Indians. They don't have to be that all the time. They can be somebody that's known to us, okay, but with a deeper sense of spirituality. And of course, they're always around us. They're guiding us in so many ways that sometimes we don't even know we can't even comprehend how much they actually do help us in certain ways in this life as well. But what you've got to always remember is the spirit world will never make us do anything. They will inspire, guide us if they feel that could be right. And they will then sort of, not push us, but they'll give us an idea of an inspirational thought or an action. And of course, then it's down to us whether we choose to follow that in that way as well. Any more questions, anybody? Annabelle, how do you know if you have a gift? Well, Annabelle, let me just tune into you a little bit there, Annabelle. Okay, Annabelle. If I'm right in saying this about you, Annabelle, okay? Now, sometimes I close my eyes when I do this, so just, I'm not going to sleep. But if I tune into you a little bit, Annabelle, if I'm right in saying here is that you actually work quite strongly on your intuitive side. If I'm going to be right in saying here as well, Annabelle, is that you're actually quite a strong personality. You're very vibrant in your personality, okay? And I don't know you. I've never seen you, and I've only just seen you come on here, okay? So I get a sense that your personality is quite strong, okay? And if I'm going to be right in saying as well, is that you've led quite an interesting life up until this point, okay? Now, also, I'm going to say that you've got quite a strong intuitive side to you as well. You seem to know things, okay? You seem to know about people. You're very good at being able to judge a character as well, okay? So I'm going to say to you that you're already knocking, Annabelle, upon you're already knocking upon the door of being able to develop yourself a little bit further, okay? You seem to have this quite strong intuitive side to you. Now, would I be right in saying all that about you, okay? Because for the simple reason being is that the gift, we call it a gift, a lot of people call it a gift, it's actually just who you are. It's being who you are. It's having this natural ability, okay, of being able to unlock your own natural senses, okay? And of course, what happens from there is that's when we start to be able to unfold our mediumship into that sense as well. Mediumship is not something that you can go and buy a book and learn it. Mediumship is about developing and unlocking a natural progression of a person, of a spirit, of a soul, okay? So everybody has got the gift, as we call it, okay, but it's just about how people unlock it and how we start to bring it to the surface and have it, and how we start to be able to use it in every aspect of our life. So Annabelle, if you want to know more about it, then speak to me if you want to. Elizabeth Formosa, my little friend from Australia, what are your thoughts about dreams and messages? Okay, well, dreams and messages, I believe, Elizabeth, are very much of an alive aspect, okay? Dreams are represented to us during the night time, okay? Now, we can have a lot of input from the spirit world through dreams. We can have a lot of input through different consciousness through dreams as well. So I believe that dreams are always given to us for certain reasons. I don't believe the mind just wanders off and has a little play around and comes back with a dream. I believe there's always some kind of message, or there's always some kind of direction or an awareness that's given to us through a dream. So I believe in dreams very strongly. I really, really do. And messages are quite, what you can remember about a dream is that dreams can last. They do say that dreams can only last for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. They actually do, okay? And we actually have a reoccurrence of loads of dreams through the night, but they actually say that they only last 3 or 4 minutes. But they seem to us last all night long. But we actually have a lot of other dreams in between times. Now, the ones that we remember the most are the ones that represent with the messages. So if you remember a dream the next day, sometimes dreams can really play with us the next day. They can be really strong in our minds and affect us through the day because there is a message in there, and we have to look into that and just find out exactly what that message is representing and why it's come to us. So Elizabeth, dreams are very powerful. There's a very good conscious part of a message that comes from it, and like I said to you, spirit come to us through the night as well, and they inspire us with thoughts and inspirations as well. Where else are we going? Annabelle, yeah, I can't see you, sweet, because I can only see, it's a very tiny pictures. I can't really see the pictures. It's the names that I see. Okay. Okay, I'll be moving soon, but I don't want to be a parent. I'll be there. No, please. Oh. Okay, let's just say, I just want to do my spirit guides have messages for me, please, and thank you. Teresa, do my spirit guides have messages for me, please, and thank you. Teresa, spirit guides will always represent themselves to us when there's a need to. Okay, what you got to remember is that the spirit world. Okay, the spirit guides don't really need to come through mediums so much to be able to represent you, because they're very close to you, spirit guides. Okay, they can move into our energy quite quickly and very quite strongly. So if they've got anything that they need to say to you, sometimes they will inspire it through your own thoughts. Okay, they don't always have to choose a medium to work through. So if there's anything that's coming through from your guides, they will try and bring it through to you within the power of your own thought as well. Okay, but they do obviously give messages through mediums as well. I believe in things. Messages from others come through me. Would love to hear what comes through to you for me. Lauren, okay. Annabelle, would I love to know if there's anyone there for a message? Thank you and the info. Hi, Brianna from USA. Okay. So we've gone on here. Any questions? I've got lots of people wanting readings. What I can say to you is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock I'm going live and doing readings. Today I've not really gone into that kind of vibration to do readings so much. Hi Elaine. It's more today was a little bit of a chat. Jennifer, you can just inbox me, Jennifer, if you want to, or you can go to www.darrenhartmedium.co.uk and leave a message on the contact page, and then I can get back to you. I'd love to give you all readings today. Let me just see if I'm drawn to anybody quickly. And I don't mean it quickly as in that way, but that's how my voice comes across. Let me just see. Hi, Mona. Carly, I will be moving soon, but I want be my permanent. Will I be happy there, and will I be there for long, please? Carly, all I can say to you, Carly, is you will be happy wherever you are in the world as long as you find happiness in you. Okay, if you see every situation and you see it as a happy situation, you'll always be happy. Always. I get a feeling where you're moving to, Carly, as well is that I just get a feeling that you maybe a little bit be reluctant to go there, but I actually feel that you're going to make it into a home. I really do, and I don't feel that you're going to be moving away from there sort of straight away. I feel that you're going to be there a little while, Carly. Okay, and I feel that you're going to make it into more of a home. I feel like that you're going to be able to just sort of feel into the presence of the energy of the home and start to feel like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe I'm going to make this into something special. And what we got to do is we put our heart into it. There's a true saying. It says, when is a house not a house? When it's your home. Where is your home? Where your heart lies. Okay, so it's, our home is always where our heart is. It doesn't matter about where it is, how it is. It's about where we're comfortable and how our heart stays in there. Okay, but I just feel that, Carly, that I just feel that this is going to be more of a, I feel that you're going to be quite happy there. I really, really do. And I feel that you're going to turn it into a bit of a home. And I can just feel some nice vibration, nice energy around there. So I just feel that that's going to work quite nicely for you, Carly. So a big thumbs up. Go in there with a nice positive attitude. Go in there with love in your heart, and I feel that you're going to have a nice home. I really, really do. Annabelle, never be scared about opening up and developing. Okay, never be scared, because there's nothing that can hurt or harm you whatsoever. Okay, now people often say to me, "Oh, what about bad spirits?" Listen, I'm an honest person, and I'll tell you dead straight. Okay, some people never always believe in what other people think, and that's in their entitlement. I've never come across a bad spirit in my life. And do you know why? Because for the simple reason is I sit and I intend to work within love. I sit with a positive attitude. I embrace the spirit world with love. Okay? I don't sit there and entice bad spirits. I don't sit there and working in a low vibration. I sit with a lovely intention to work with the power of the spirit, work with heaven, and I give them all my love, and they return it, and I get some beautiful communications, and I've never come across anything that should never be there. And sometimes, my own perspective on that, well, that's a different story. But, if you set a lovely intention, you're just going to deal with the higher self. You're just going to deal with beautiful love. People that's setting their intention the same in the spirit world. Okay. And of course, it's like when people say about, message boards, Ouija boards. What I can say about Ouija boards is that they are a fantastic means of communication. I call them message boards. I've done the message board now for years, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of them. And I have had fantastic communication. Really, really fantastic. Every time I sit, I open in a prayer, and I'm sitting there with the intention of a great intention with power and love in my heart to communicate with the spirit world. That's what I'm there for. I'm not there to have a glass of wine, a muck about, or to see if anyone wants to come through and have a laugh. I don't do that. So, if you're going to sit with an intention like that, from my perspective, if the spirit world look down and say, he's sitting there with a glass of wine, him and his pals, and I'm going to have a little muck about. Come on, let's go and have a little muck about with them. That's how I see that they would work. And I would see them having another, I'd see them mucking about with you just the same as way that you want to muck about with them. That's how I see that. But I never do that. I've never been involved in any of that. I work completely straight from the power of the heart, straight through power of love. And like I said, I've had some fantastic communication through message boards. Brilliant communications, really, really have, honestly. So, for me, there's nothing to be scared of, Annabelle. Nothing at all. Spirit will never come and jump on your bed at night. They're never going to come and do all these weird things that some people say that they come and do. No, not at all. If you're going to work and if you're going to develop, Annabelle, then I feel from where you're working, Annabelle, as I'm feeling into you, you come from a place of love anyway. I can feel the power of your love as you start to connect with me in that sense. And of course, if I'm feeling correctly into the power of love, then you're going to work within such a beautiful vibration that you will connect beautifully with the spirit world and develop your we call them abilities, can develop your abilities in such a beautiful, loving way. You really, really will. Honestly, you're a very true, sensitive, honest, loving, very deep person, Annabelle. Honestly, you are. And of course, that is all the makings of a fantastic development. Okay, so never be scared. Never be scared about any of it. Just, if you go to the correct, if we say teacher or development circle, then, they will give you that opportunity to use the tools to develop yourself in that sense. They'll be giving you the opportunity to open up your vision of expansion to develop your own mediumship. And of course, if you're in a very supportive, loving development circle or teacher, then you'll develop lovely. You really, really will. And of course, we've all got this opportunity to work with a mediumship. It just depends, and I have to say this from the years of doing mediumship. I have to say this, that I've seen some mediums over the years that's never had the right development. Okay, and of course, it's they've got such an ability that they've never had the opportunity to open it up and unfold it in such a way because they've never been taught correctly from the beginning. Now, what I can say, my development, I've been to the world's most finest places to be developed by the most fantastic, world-renowned teachers, and I've developed for years and years I've developed, and I won't mention any of the names because it's not fair to do so, but I've had some great support and some great teachings from some amazing tutors. I really, really have, and of course, it depends on who teaches you. It depends. Don't forget, what you got to remember is that their teachings will only be as ever good as what they are. So if they're a good medium, a fantastic, a good strong medium with lots of ability and lots of developing skills and knowledge about working within mediumship and the spirit world, then you should be able to get the best out of them. If they're just a medium that's how can I put it without sounding too wrong? If they're just a medium that hasn't got such a vast knowledge, then don't expect them to be able to give you so much knowledge. You'll only get as much as what they've got in their own self. Okay, so when we're looking, we're always saying to the spirit world, guide us to the right tutor, take me to the right development circle, and go with what they're telling you, go with what you're feeling. Okay, because they will help you. Because the spirit world know the right teachers for you. They know, and they'll place opportunities. Sometimes they place you in a place where it's not so good, and then they place you in the right place. Okay, it's maybe just so that we can then maybe see sometimes that the better places where we need to be, so to speak. But listen, go with what you're feeling. Okay, there's some fantastic development circles. There's some fantastic tutors. They're amazing people and with great abilities. And of course, that's where you need to be, Annabelle, is working within the higher power of all of it and working with the intention of love. Mediumship is love. Always remember, it comes from a place of love, it goes to a place of love, and it is about love. That's mediumship. So Annabella, just go with what you're feeling on that side of things as well. Hi Jen, Katie, do you know what my aura is? Annabelle, yes. Do you know what my aura is? I know your aura. Thank you, it's me. I feel like I'm blocking messages that are coming through. How do I enhance my awareness? Well, Lauren, straight away, and of course, straight away, what we got to remember is that blocking is down to us. It's nothing to do with the spirit world, okay? And of course, if you're going to sit with an intention that you're blocking, then you're going to be blocking. So you have to remove that thought away from your mind straight away. So what we have to work with is that we have to work with that intention that we're not blocking at all. Okay, we're sitting there, we're ready to perceive the power of the spirit. Okay, and of course, preparation to work within mediumship. This is why today I've not gone into doing so many readings, because for the simple reason is I've not actually prepared and got myself into the vibration of readings today. This was more about having a chat. Having a chat and answering a few questions. So hence why I've not gone into that vibration of working in one-to-ones or connecting to the spirit world, because again, it's preparation. For me to work, I have to be in the right vibration. I have to be able to prepare myself. There's certain things that I have to do before I go to work. Okay, first thing I always do is I set the intention of working with the spirit. I look forward to it. I say, I can't wait to work with you tonight. Really looking forward to it. I never sit there with any negativity in my mind. I never sit there with, I don't trust that they're going to be there. I trust explicitly. The spirit world will always be there. They'll never let me down. Never in a million years. Okay? So, of course, when I go to prepare for working, I get myself into the right vibration of working. I build a lot of power. Hence why sometimes when I do messages, you'll hear me. I'm very quick with messages because I'm building a lot of power. And as I even talk now, I can feel the power beginning to build, because that's how it works with me. And of course, once that power starts to build, yes, then we start to have that communication taking place. But it has to come from a place of thought, an intention, and a power, and it comes from love. Once we put the full ingredients into it, it's like making a cake. If you put the right ingredients in, you'll get the right cake out, and that's how you got to do it. So Lauren, all I can say to you, sweet, is remove the thought away from blocking. So don't put that thought into your mind at all. Sit there, prepare yourself to work for spirit. I don't know how you're working with spirit at the moment, but sit prepared to work for spirit. Just say to the spirit world, here I am. I wish to work for you, and please bring communication forward for me. And just allow for the power of love. Build that power of love inside of you first. Once you've built that up, you're talking in the same language as the spirit world then. And of course, once we're working in love, we're talking with the same language. Love and love. Love from heaven, love from here. And of course, once we put them together, we've got communication. Okay, so just remove that thought, Lauren, away from your mind about blocking. Okay, I hope that helps you in some way. Anyway, okay, so I got messages, but I don't act on them, and they come through. I push it away, thinking it's nothing. Then within a few minutes, what? Okay. Lauren, I get messages, but then I don't act on them as they come through. I push it away, thinking it's nothing. Then within a few minutes, what came through happens. Let me see if I'm reading this right. I get messages, but then I don't act on them. Are these messages coming from spirit, Lauren, or is this your own intuition? That's what you got to decide there. Push it away thinking it's nothing. Then within a few minutes, what come through happens. So is that something that's... Removing my thought. Thank you. Lauren, if that's something that's happening, then that could be coming from your own intuition, your own knowing about a situation. And not from spirit. So you'll have to just let me know on that one. But anyway, today, listen, all I want to say to you all, thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow night, I'm live, 8 o'clock, and I'm doing messages. So I will be working in readings and messages from the spirit world. Please hope that all of you can join me and try and share the videos as well, because for the simple reason is it's important, because the more people we have, the more power we build, the more communication comes from the spirit world. And of course, you know, and then tomorrow night I'll be drawn to people. I'm just not in my vibration right now. Okay, so Charlene, do you believe in God? Charlene, I'm going to answer this one quickly before I go. Charlene, I believe in the power of God. Okay, now I believe God is in us, around us, part of us. God is around everything. I believe that God is in all spiritual, all soul connections. God is consciousness. God is around us all. I don't believe God is one individual thing. I believe God is the creation of spirit life as well. I believe that God is a power. God is love. Once we got love, we got God. Plain and simple. I've got love in my heart. That's my power. That's my God. That's where I believe my God has come from. God is a consciousness. That's how I'm seeing it. God is a consciousness. It's a power. It's love. Okay. Once we have that love, then that's where we find God. That's my perspective. Anyway, so please, I hope you all come and see me tomorrow, and then we'll work with some nice readings, and we'll get on. Please make a book. I'll let you into a secret, Charlene. I'm in the process. Please come and join me tomorrow. If you want any information, go onto my website, www.darrenhartmedium.co.uk, and then hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow night. Be bright and early for 8 o'clock. Get into a nice vibration. We'll have a nice night. You can sit there and have a glass of wine while you listen to your old mate Darren connecting to the spirit world, and we'll have a nice night together. Okay, we're all on lockdown, we're all on isolation, so let's make the most of it. Please tonight, 8 o'clock, clap for our national health. Okay, it's very important that we send that beautiful golden energy and that power of love up into the ether. Okay, so that's what we need to do for tonight for the NHS. Okay, so 8 o'clock, please all be there. Give them a nice clap, send our love, and because they're doing a fantastic job for all of us. Okay, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Really appreciate it. Enjoyed you all being here, and then tomorrow, please join me at 8 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you've got any other questions, you can email them or send them to me. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much. Be good and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks a lot. Bye.